You guys know the Browns, they're a franchise that needs to see results right now. Right now. If they don't see the results that they want to see, they are very quick to move on from it, right? Must I go down the head coaches that they brought in? Must I go down the offense coordinators? Bro, if they don't like what they see, next person, right? So with Deshaun Watson, if we can stop him very early on in the first quarter, there is a big chance that the Browns decide to bench him and tell him, you know what, take a seat. You're clearly not healthy enough to play. What is going on, Ravens Flock? My name is Drastic, and I want to welcome you guys back to another video on our YouTube channel, Flock and Ravens. And on today's video, we're going to be talking about today's matchup going up against the Browns and what an interesting game it's going to be, because we have heard nothing but great things about this Browns defense, right? All the hype has been built around their defense. Defense. So this is such a great opportunity for the Ravens to showcase our new system, our new offense coordinator, what he's able to do. Because all of offseason, we've been talking about what Todd Monken brings to the Ravens, how Todd Monken is going to put Lamar Jackson back in the MVP race, how Todd Monken is going to have multiple receivers going for over 1,000 yards this season, how Todd Monken is going to scheme up all these crazy plays to get our players open, X, Y, and Z. Bro, we've been hyping up this new system this whole offseason. And in my opinion, the Browns have a top 5 defense in the whole NFL league right now, based on what we saw, right? Because it's one thing what you see on paper, but based on what they actually show on tape, I feel like this Browns defense is legit. And this is very good for us Ravens to really see what our new offense coordinator can really bring to the table, right? Is all that hype legit, or was it all just an illusion, right? Is it disguised as pretty much Greg Roman all over again, right? So what I'm expecting out of Todd Monken is not us to blow out the Browns. I would like that, but that is not what I'm asking out of Todd Monken, because let's not forget, this is a divisional opponent. So it's going to be tough to blow out this team. Let's just begin the conversation right there. We're just asking Todd Monken to keep us in the game. That's all we need. Like, we don't want to look lost out there. Every single time these Ravens lose their players, their key players, like a Marquise Brown, Rashad Bateman, we can't seem to do anything out there. Anything. Well, at least under Greg Roman. We cannot do anything to save our life. We can't. So with Todd Monken, I am hoping that even though we don't have Rashad Bateman, we don't have J.K. Dobbins, we don't have OBJ, we don't have Ronnie Stanley, bro, I need 2 things from you. I need you to scheme our next man up players open. I need you to scheme them open. I need you to get them involved. It cannot just be Mark Andrew Zay. Mark Andrew Zay. You have to use everybody. You have to spread the ball around. That's what I need. I need you to show me that this is a different offense system. It is not the Greg Roman that we have been seeing for the past 5 years. I need you to show me just that, right? That's one. Number 2, I need you to scheme up plays that will make my quarterback feel comfortable and safe inside the pockets. Now, this does not all fall on our coordinator, right? Because that's also our O-line's job. So they also got to step up in this game. Whoever is going to be playing today, they have to step up. We cannot have them hold back that line for only 2-3 seconds. We need those extra 3-4 more seconds so that Lamar can make the plays that we need in order to win the game, right? So that's another thing that I'm hoping for from our O-line in this game, all right? So if Todd Monken can do those 2 things, I will feel like we made the right decision by bringing in Todd Monken, because that's the conversations that we've been having all of off season, right? Did we make a mistake in bringing in Todd Monken? Should we have gotten Eric Bieniemy or X, Y, and Z? Like, we had so many options, right? And a lot of us felt like this was the right decision. For me personally, as long as it wasn't Greg Roman, I was fine with it. But I don't think that he's going. I don't think that Todd Monken is going to disappoint us. I feel that we just got to give it some time, because let's remember, last year our defense took a while. It wasn't until like the second half of the season where our defense was really coming together, where our defense was really showing what they are practicing out on the practice field. It wasn't until the second half of the season. That's when we started seeing these explosive plays from our defense players, right? So I have a feeling that the same thing is going to happen with our offense this season, because it's a brand new system, right? It's a brand new system. So for that reason, it's going to take some time. Now, from Lamar, all I'm going to ask from you is secure the ball. That's it. You got to protect the ball. Where no one's telling you not to run. We like when you run. If that's all that's left, no one's open, and you have no choice but to run, fine, run. But when you're running, I expect you to secure the ball, all right? Because we throw so much shade at every player that drops the ball. So it's only right that we hold you accountable just like we do all these other players. So Lamar, that's something that you have to improve on, okay? Now the defense. It's very hard to give any complaints to our defense. They shocked us because, at least for me, my hopes on this defense, because our secondary is just not looking like the best. I didn't have too much expectations from this defense, right? But certain players, they showed up. They stepped up. They stepped up to the plate, and they showed us that they could hold it down while X, Y, and Z recovers, right? So it's hard to really say anything negative about them, but there are some negative things that we do need to say. Number one, wrap it up. Wrap it up. I don't know why our players have trouble doing this, because it just feels like they're patting down the players and letting them go. Like, you're all good? Go ahead. Clear? Go ahead. No weapons? All right, go ahead. Like, that's what it seems like they're doing. Like, these players, our defense is like, they're like working for the airport or something. Like, just patting down players and making sure that they're good to go. Wrap it up. Each and every, because it's not just one player that does it. If it was just one player, that's an easy fix. We just got to focus on this one player, make them do certain drills, and that's it. No, it's a lot of random players on the defense. They are having issues wrapping up. They are having issues pulling them down. Like, you have to finish the play. You have to, because there are so many mistakes. Those mistakes cost not just a first down, but they're getting yak right after that. Like, I'm talking about like 20 yards, 30 yards. Like, we need to put an end to that. Wrap it up. All right. Okay, so another big issue that I have with this defense is when any player forces a fumble and the ball just goes flying across the field. If you are near this ball, jump on the ball. Especially if you see players are nearby, other players are nearby. Jump on the ball. Because we saw this last week, and we don't just see this last week. We've been seeing this like the season prior and the season prior to that. We keep seeing the same mistake happening over and over and over and over again. Stop doing that. Jump on the ball. All right? There is no decision to be made that needs to be made there. You have to jump on it. That's it. Now, I understand you want to scoop and score. I completely understand that. Who doesn't want to pick it up and get us 6 points? Of course, we want that. We want that. But if you see that there is another player nearby that could possibly take the ball from you, forget about it. Just jump on it. Jump on it and get us the turnover. That's it. Finish the job. That's all we want from you. And we'll be happy with that. All right? The next thing I want to talk about is I've been seeing that a lot of times, a lot of players, and this is now we can't expect everyone to be perfect. All right. So I understand this is going to happen sometimes. But if the quarterback is handing you the ball is coming right to you, catch the ball. Catch the ball. I could understand if like you're running for it. And this goes on both sides, actually. This is not just on our defense. If it's the defense, yo, finish the play, get the ball, and that's it. Like, you guys have to make those catches. If you're not able to do that, do what Patrick Queen did and get on that wheel and just practice catching the ball. That's all you need to be doing if you're not able to do that. Same goes to our receivers, all right? Because I could understand our receivers if you're not catching the ball because you didn't get to the ball on time. You had to make a diving catch. It was a jump ball. I could understand that. Fine. But if you're literally just standing there and the ball comes your way, there is no reason why you should not be catching that ball. There is none. All right? There is no and I've seen this happen multiple times. Multiple times in multiple games, I've seen this happen over and over and over. And it has to stop. It has to stop. We cannot keep saying or letting Lamar take the blame for that. At what point do we have... I mean, I think we're past that point. We have to start holding our receivers accountable. You guys cannot be dropping these easy catches. Now, I understand I'm not the one on the field. I used to be back in my day. I don't want to get into it. But I understand it's not that easy. It's easier to say it than to actually do it. I completely get it. But bro, you guys are in the NFL. All right? Y'all should not be dropping multiple easy catch passes. All right? If it's coming your way, I don't get it. Because sometimes you'll even see it the same thing twice in one game. And it's like, are you serious? I can understand maybe once every 5-6 games, but twice in one single game, like, we have to stop that. We have to stop dropping these passes, all right?
You can't keep getting away with it. He can't keep getting away with it. He won't.
Let's go back to the offense. I already told you guys about the O-line, right? Supposedly, Tyler Linderbaum is going to return. I want to talk a little bit about injuries and players that are coming back. Linderbaum is going to return supposedly, right? We don't know how he's going to be when he returns, right? We don't know if he's going to pick up exactly where he left off, or is there going to be a setback? In the case that there is a setback, I think we need to bench Linderbaum and let him rest and fully heal until he's fully ready to return. When he can really return and pretty much pick up where he left off, then bring him back into the game, right? Because I have to admit when I'm wrong. I was one of those fans that said that Sam Mutzfer was a big mistake from the Ravens front office. Bringing him in was a huge mistake, and boy was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong, because this guy showed out. This guy truly played like a Raven, all right? And he even shocked his ex-franchise team. The Bears, the fans, they're going crazy over where he's ranked for the past 3 weeks. They're going crazy. They're like, bro, maybe it just wasn't the right situation for him, right? Maybe we were holding him back. He wasn't holding us back. And I got to agree with that. Maybe the Bears were holding him back. I don't know. Now, the reason I wasn't sold on Sam is simply because I don't just go off by, I don't know, just being happy about every decision the front office makes. I'm not that type of person, all right? I really have to look this up. And I didn't know who Sam Mutzfer was when we signed him. So I had to look him up. I had to find different channels and whatever. And I just happened to come across many fans that they were so excited when the Bears finally decided to bench Sam Mutzfer. for the same reason that we were complaining about with Patrick McCarry and the other center that we had, because they kept over snapping the ball. They kept false start, late starts, all of that. For all of those same reasons. So when they finally benched him, they were so happy. They were celebrating it. So I said, why would we bring on a player like that when that's the same issues that we've been having with the other guys? We might as well have just kept them, right? But obviously, in this case, because this isn't always the case, all right? We cannot go off because this happened with Sam. We cannot trust this every single time because this isn't always the case, all right? Sometimes it's true. Some players are just not in the right situation. So they have to change situation. We're gonna see that with what's that receiver? Prochet, James Prochet, right? We're gonna find out because when he goes to a different team, we're gonna see what he's about. Because a lot of people were on Miles Boykin. They were like, "Oh, let him go to a different team." Bro, no. He went to the Steelers. What is he doing in Pittsburgh? Nothing, right? So it's not always that they're in the wrong situation. Sometimes they show their colors from the very beginning. They're just not good. And this is not me taking a shot at him. I don't know him personally. I'm not trying to like disrespect them or anything, but I just got to tell you what I see, right? Miles Boykin was not it. He wasn't it. He didn't have, for me, he didn't have it. I don't know what y'all saw, but for me, he didn't have it. All right? He didn't. And with Sam, he just wasn't in the right situation. And him changing that, coming to the Ravens, now we're seeing a different player. So now in the case that Tyler Linderbaum is not ready to make his return, I feel comfortable in benching him and putting Sam Mutsford out on the field. I feel comfortable with that because he has shown that he can pick up that slack until he's ready to come back. And that's the type of players that we need to bring on. And again, so I got to give him a big shout out because, he proved me wrong. I'm a fan, right? When a player proves you wrong, there's nothing wrong with being wrong. But where it starts to kind of get messy and nasty is when you keep going with the same thing that, no, they suck, even though they're proving you wrong. And so shout outs to Sam Mutsford, bro. You played like a Raven, man. You played like a Raven. So shout outs to you. So now let's go on to Ronnie Stanley. We need to really be careful not to repeat the same mistake we did with him like 2 years ago. If he's not ready to return, and I know he's not going to return for this game, but if he's not ready to return in week 4, week 5, week 6, let him rest. And the same goes with Tyler Linderbaum. If they are not ready, let them rest. Because when you force them on that field, you're risking them getting a real serious injury this time for real, to the point where they're going to be out for not only a couple of weeks, but for the whole entire season. We got to play the long game. If we can play the long game, we're going to have success when it comes to the Super Bowl, the playoffs, and all of that. We're going to have success. But if we're going to play, no, we got to win this divisional game. We have to, we're just going to lose. At the end, we're going to lose because we're going to have everybody on that injury list and we're going to be back to square one. So with Ronnie Stanley, I know he's out again for this game, but I do want to address that. And the same goes with Tyler Linderbaum. The same goes with Marlon Humphrey. All of our players, in reality, all of our players. Let's not rush any of them back onto that field. So we have them out. And as far as our running backs, I know JK, obviously, as you guys know, he's out for this season. We don't really know who is going to be our running back one. I feel kind of comfortable saying it's probably going to be Gus Edwards. But in case we do this whole rotating, Gus, Justice, Kenyon Drake, Gordon, if one of them is going off, we need to stop doing this thing where we're taking off these players off the field, even though they're producing for us, right? If they're doing great, keep them on that field. This happens especially with our running backs. I don't know why, but this always happens with our running backs. Like you'll see Gus just make a 40-yard run, and then we don't see him for the rest of the quarter. You start rotating Justice Hill, Kenyon Drake, and whatever. I don't understand why we do that, and that is something that is constantly costing us the game, right? And another thing, although I do want to see us doing more of these passing plays, if the running game is working, let's just stick to that. If it's working, stick to it. Now, if we're kind of struggling in the running game, then we need to make that change. We need to adjust our game plan, and we need to start passing the ball. But let's not change anything that's working. So if the passing play is working, don't try to get cute and try to just say, you know what, we're going to try to see about running the ball. Don't do none of that. Don't fix what's not broken. Another thing that I feel that we need to do in this game in order to win is we really need to do more of the silent count. We need to do the no huddles, because the Ravens have always had success with, it doesn't matter if it's Lamar doing it or if it's Tyler Huntley. But when we do the no huddle quick plays, we have a lot of success. And keep in mind, this is an away game. So their fans are going to make crazy noise. They're not going to let Lamar communicate the plays to the players. They're not. They're going to make a lot of noise. So because of that, I feel that we really do need to implement more of the no huddles, quick plays. And like that, we're going to have a lot of success. And the silent count, right? If we can do that, I could really see the passing game developing the way we want it to. We're going to really see what we want to see with all of our players. Really quickly, I just want to remind you guys that we're giving away 2 game tickets to the Ravens versus Bengals game on November 15 at M&T Bank Stadium. It's going to be a night game. All you have to do to win these tickets is subscribe to this channel. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to give away these 2 game tickets to our random subscribers. So yeah, let's get back to the video. Okay, so another player that we have to talk about is Roquan Smith. Now, he has been trending amongst the Ravens flock community for the past week or so, maybe even more. I don't know if you guys saw the episode that the Ravens released on the Wire thing that they do, where they mic'd up Roquan Smith on one of the games. And if you watch that episode and you really listen, it gives you crazy flashbacks of that 2000s Ravens defense. Like, just the way Roquan commands respect on that field, the way he commands his defense, his players, you can't help but to remember the Ravens defense in the early 2000s. It's exactly like, and it's crazy to even imagine that that's Roquan Smith on that Wired episode, because when you listen to his interviews after the games, he doesn't show that energy. Like, he's more of a calm person, collective. He doesn't have that aggressive demeanor. But when you hear him and you watch him on that Wired episode, it's a complete another player. It's a complete another person, right? And this is a very good thing in a player like Roquan Smith, because we have been wondering who's going to take this leadership role once we lost Calais Campbell and Justin Houston, because when they were on the Ravens, it was between both of them, right? But the moment we didn't bring them back, we just didn't know who it was going to be. A lot of players were saying it's going to be Roquan. But me personally, I didn't feel too comfortable, because I know that role has to be by a person who just has that it energy on them, right? And I didn't see it in Roquan. But after watching that video, I can completely understand why everybody picked him to be the leader. And he definitely earns it, because the way he hypes up the players, it's unbelievable. If you haven't watched it, I really encourage you guys to watch that episode. It's crazy. It's crazy to hear how he talks to the players and how he talks to the opponents, right? After every tackle or whatever, he talks his talk. Like I never, ever, ever could imagine Roquan doing that. But anyways, that's one of the reasons why we're talking about him. But another reason I wanted to bring him up is because there has been a video of Roquan going around on social media of him talking about the game versus the Browns later on today. And this is what he had to say.
As the enemy to go take over, and that's our plan, to actually go take over. I think they call it the dog pound. I consider myself a dog, so I'm
He a dog.
in that place, so I'm excited to get back in there. And I know they're a physical football team, but so
Like a Raven.
honestly, I love it. You know, I love a challenge. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I love looking something square in the face and saying,
He a Raven.
bring it on, whatever it is. You know, chin up, chest out. You know, I live by that. Sunsets, no regrets. So
Facts.
I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait. You're considered the bad guy because you're going into essentially another man's house, and you're trying to take over, like his wife, kids, everyone there to watch them. So we going over to beat their tails in front of their wife and kids. So when you think about it,
Whoa! Wait a minute. I'm gonna need somebody to please do a welfare check on the Browns' kids and wives, because that's not what we were going for. Yo, Roquan, I am all in on you, except for that whole wife and kids thing. Yo, sign me up. Anything other than that, sign me up. Because I don't know what that whole wife kids thing is about. But I am all in when it comes to taking over that dog pound stadium, just dominating that game, you know, not just that game, but every single game. And when you hear, because we never heard Roquan speak like this on these pressers. I never heard it. If you go back to the Bears, because I did that as well, he doesn't talk like that. He's very collective. He's very calm. It's a different energy. It's a very different energy. And there has been many players that said when they come to the Ravens locker room, that energy changes them. The way they play, the way they think. And you could really see it through these pressers that you hear. Also through the game. I mean, just watching film, how he plays and all of that. So, like I told you guys earlier, I feel that we're going in the right direction when it comes to our defense. We're picking up exactly where we left off during that playoffs game. I know it was a sucky moment to lose that game, but our defense was dominating in that playoff game. And we are picking up exactly where we left off. Now we're finally seeing that. And a lot of that does have to do with Roquan's presence, with Roquan's energy, with Roquan's experience. So shout outs to him. And like I told you guys, I think we are heading in the right direction. Although this is, in my opinion, a top 5 defense that we're going up against, a divisional opponent, and this is an away game, I really feel that we could win this game. And like I told you guys, each and every video that we talk about, you know, what's our prediction for the season. You cannot say that this season feels different. It's going to be different if you're still predicting the Ravens to win one and lose one against divisional opponents. No, I have the Ravens winning every single matchup with our divisional opponents, whether it's away or a home game. I have us winning each and every one of them. And I know right now, because we're missing a lot of key players, it seems very difficult to still feel that way, but I think we could still do it. Because this defense, like I told you, it feels like they're bringing this energy from the early 2000s Ravens. And that's an era that literally defense used to win us games. And let's not forget, the Bengals went to a Super Bowl with Joe Burrow, not because of Joe Burrow, because of that defense. All right. Everybody keeps saying the Joe Burrow took the Bengals to a Super Bowl. That's a lie. Don't buy into that. That defense took the Bengals to a Super Bowl. All right. And I feel that this defense could help us win this game. Look, we're going up against an injured Deshaun Watson. His shoulder is injured. There is a possibility that he doesn't even play, right? So we have a huge advantage in this game. because this shoulder injury for a quarterback, that's one of the worst injuries that you could expect. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, thumb, nail, not nail, sorry. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, your pinky, your thumb. Those things are very important for quarterbacks because they need all of those parts in order to make the throws that they need to make, right? They can still do it, but they're going to be in pain throughout the throw. The whole process of that throw, they're going to be in pain. The aftermath is going to just be horrible for them. And you have the possibility that that pain stops them from making the throw like perfect. And that leaves a window for us to intercept the ball, to, pat down the pass or whatever. So we have that. So our defense has to take full advantage of doing that, right? We have to kill their momentum very early on. Here is why. If our defense can kill that momentum early on, you guys know the Browns, they're a franchise that needs to see results right now. Right now. If they don't see the results that they want to see, they are very quick to move on from it, right? Must I go down the head coaches that they brought in? Must I go down the offense coordinators? Bro, if they don't like what they see, next person, right? So with Deshaun Watson, if we can stop him very early on in the first quarter, there is a big chance that the Browns decide to bench him and tell him, you know what, take a seat. You're clearly not healthy enough to play. Heal up, and whenever you're ready, we'll put you back on the field. And that's going to bring out this rookie quarterback who has never played a snap. And it's all uphill from there for us, right? So we need to do this from the very beginning, because if we let Deshaun Watson do whatever he wants to in the early half of the game, and then our defense finally starts to mold up and bring that energy, and we're taking over, it's not gonna matter. They're gonna keep Deshaun Watson there because they already built that momentum. They already built that trust in him, and they're going to be like, oh, well, he's a little banged up, but he already showed us he can do it. So we need to shut it down early on. As soon as the very first drive that Deshaun gets, we got to shut it down. And if we can do that, I'm telling you guys, we can win this game. It's very hard because, like I said, we're going up a top 5 defense. It's an away game, and it's a divisional opponent. And these divisional opponents, it's a very, very physical game. And this is actually very scary for us because just thinking about all the injuries we already have, I don't know. I hope we come out healthy from this game, but you just never know because that's football, right? One day everyone's healthy, and the next you have half of your team on the injury list. So we just never know. But anyways, make sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about today's game. Let me know your scores down below, and make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you guys have a chance to, 1, win the tickets, and 2, to support the channel, right? Like this channel, this video, to help us grow this channel. Make sure to share this channel with a family or friend, or just anybody that you know that may be a fan of the Ravens. Let them know what's the channel to come to if they want to get connected with the flock. And with that, I'm going to see y'all on the next video.